Hey, welcome back to HTB, where I help you become your most fashionable and successful self. Now, I know we live in a difficult time these days, which is why I create the Easier Life segment. And today's guest is a very special one who is a life and a mindset coach, Tania J. Maven. Thank you so much for tuning in with us, Tania, and having the time to talk to us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So tell us, Tania, what is your background in life coaching and how did you become a coach besides that? Yeah.
Right, yeah. My background is, actually, when I first started on this path of my journey that I'm on right now with the healing, what didn't start in life coaching. It actually started more
Oh.
in energy work, in Reiki and hypnotherapy. And I loved it. And then
Mm-hmm.
I decided to add in massage therapy. So I added massage therapy into my practice,
Wow.
and I went to school for it, and it was great. And I did that for quite a few years. And then they were changing some of the regulations where we live of
Mm-hmm.
how many hours you needed to have for massage therapy. And
Mm-hmm.
it was an opportunity for me to really step back and say, okay, do I want to go back to school for 2 more years, invest, more money into this career, or do I want to take a different route?
Mm-hmm.
And what I noticed is that as much as I love doing massage, what I really loved was the times where I would have a client who was wanting to talk, and time again they would leave my sessions and they would say, Tanya, I didn't just get a massage, I got insight to my life, and things I've had questions about have been answered. And I was like, oh, that's just so amazing, and just thought, kind of slept it off, right?
Yeah.
And at this time when I was taking a step back and saying, do I want to invest more into my career in massage therapy or not, I realized that wasn't what my calling was. And
Yes.
so I decided to actually go to school. You can go to school for life coaching, and I got a certification in it.
Wow.
Um, and it's been really great. I absolutely love what I do. I still do massage from time to time for some clients. They didn't quite want to let me go, so I still do see them. But my primary focus is absolutely life and mindset coaching.
So it came naturally to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's something, yeah, definitely that I felt is been a natural gift for me.
Yeah,
And but I love to learn. So I was like, I really want to take the certification and get certified and learn what else there is to know. And so
that's
it was a
amazing.
really great course, yeah, an in-depth course. And I really, yeah, I just love taking it. So.
So why
Mm.
mindset? I know a lot of life coaches out there, but in your website and your in Facebook, I see you're a life and a mindset coach. Why did I incorporate that into a sentence or two?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that again, it was kind of something that I've been almost born into as well.
Yeah?
So my mom would always say, I remember growing up, she would always say, mind over matter. So mind
Okay.
over matter. So anything that you want to achieve, mind over matter. If there's blocks, think of a way to achieve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that was part of it. And then looking back to with my dad was actually a refugee when he came to Canada, and
Oh,
yeah, from Chile in the 70s. And he went through a lot, in order to get to Canada and just to have the life that he had. And yet he is one of the most kindest, loving, happy people. And part of that is because of his mindset that he
mindset.
chooses. And that he
Yeah.
also imparts on me as well, even to this day, saying, okay, Tania, what can we think about this more positively, right? And so I feel like in a way I was naturally born into it as
Mhm.
well. Yet I also do believe that mindset is a choice. It's something that we choose. We all have hardships in our life. We all have things we've gone through, and we can either continue just doing that and living by that story, or we can look at it
Break
and say,
free. Yeah.
yeah, how can I use this
My
to
advantage.
my advantage, to
Yeah.
use those stories, those experiences, those hardships as the pillars to lift me up higher, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, so that's something that I feel like I was maybe naturally born into it, but yet it was still a choice.
Amazing, Tanya. So I looked at your YouTube channel. I know you do have a YouTube channel.
I do have a few Cartesian.
Yeah. And I saw that you do have like a program, a 7-week program, or is that the old program that you have?
Yeah, so that actually was an old program of mine that I'm currently in. I'm glad that you asked that because we hadn't really talked about that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I actually am currently revamping it. Um, and I think maybe it'll be ready for May. I'm just kind of filling out a little
Oh,
some of this stuff right now. So May, June. So yes, and it will be including more of the mindset stuff. And that program was called at the time From Fear to Fulfillment,
yes.
because ultimately that's what I love to do with my coaching is I love to work with women who are in this place where they just feel like there has to be more to life than this. You know, whether we are in challenging times as we are right now, or whether we're in the hamster wheel of life that we're before, you know, or whether we're in this space where I feel a lot of us are at right now, we're saying, what do I want to take forward from this moment? Right? Like, what do I truly want to have in this new life after this pandemic that we're experiencing right
Yeah.
now?
Yes,
And
exactly.
so, what is that something more for me? What does that look like? You know, for the woman who's feeling overwhelmed and stressed and maybe frustrated and just, but inside there's this longing. There's that, I feel like it's our soul like whispering to us saying, you can have that fulfillment, you know, and when we get in alignment with our fulfillment, um, then that's the place where inspiration hits and then anything is possible. So I'm not here saying, oh, like you need to be an author and you need to be a doctor, you need to do this
Yeah,
and that. It's like when we get in alignment, what comes forward then? What does your soul speak at that point?
exactly. So tell us a little the 3 shifts that you want to talk about in this pandemic. I know you have 3 shifts for us like today and to help us in
Mhm.
this time because I know a lot of women are like crazy right now. They're nervous, they're heartbroken, they don't know what to do with their life. So tell us a little bit more so it can help us with this in this interview. Yeah.
Yes, I like to take things and kind of break them down to bite-sized pieces to make them more manageable.
Yeah.
I feel like if we get too much information, it's just like I can't do any of it, right?
Right.
So for myself, I feel like the very first step is, especially in a time like right now, where I feel like there's a lot of us feeling like we have no control. We have our leaders telling us what we're doing, whether we can stay inside or outside, or you know, there's lack of control, lack of feeling like we have any power or direction, really, because it's all we're being told what to do. Yet again, I feel like that can be a mindset, right? So
Right.
so there's 3 shifts that we can start with that have huge impact when we start to focus on or start to work with them. And so one of the first shift is I like to speak about is awareness. So when we have our focus going out to what can I do, what are they telling me, what is this, what is that, and all this kind of thing on the news, on social media, and what have you, we're giving all of our energy to the outside. And with awareness, we're taking that energy and bringing it back to the inside.
Hmm.
And so this can be a beautiful experience, and it can also be an experience that's not comfortable, right?
No.
Because now we're looking inside of us and we're saying, what do I feel? Yet that's so important to know. What is it that I'm feeling right now? How do I feel? And allowing ourselves to have that awareness without any judgment. That's the big thing, right? So if we
Yeah.
can have this awareness and see what's there and not judge it, not give it like too much energy, but just at first, just witnessing it. Like you're just witnessing it. And it's like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling scared. Or, you know what, on the flip side, I've heard people say, I'm feeling really good and I'm feeling
No
really happy,
way.
you know, and it's just like, this is my time to take a break. Like I've been so busy and they're
Yeah.
afraid to say, I'm feeling really good. And to be honest, I was one of those people. I was just like, I know the world around me is kind of like falling apart as we knew it,
Mm.
but there was a part of me that was just so peaceful with it. And I was like, am I allowed to say that? You know, but as I started to asked the question, even on my Facebook page, I said, like, from 1 to 10, where are you feeling, you know, and had different emojis. Like 10 was like a really great one, like a red heart, or, you know, one was like maybe a purple heart, right? And so the range of where people were saying they were feeling, there was a lot of people in the higher areas of what they were feeling good about. And yet some of us were also feeling like almost guilty, like, can I actually feel this, right? So just knowing, first of all, whatever that awareness is and whatever you're feeling is completely and 100% okay.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at, no matter if you feel all the spectrum of emotions in the day. Like sometimes you feel great, other times you're like, I don't feel great anymore. You know, whatever you're feeling in that day, it's okay, but allow yourself to feel it, because when we don't feel it, then we go into autopilot, we go into numbing. That numbing can look like watching more TV, watching more,
Yeah.
like scrolling our Facebook more, or, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
social media more, disengaging, maybe drinking, maybe eating more. You know, how many of us have been in front of the fridge being like, I'm not hungry, but what's in here, right?
Yeah.
And those are some signs of us that can be signs of numbing and us not wanting to feel what we're feeling. But the truth is when we have awareness, this is also where the magic happens, because this, in a world where we feel like we don't have much choice right now, this is where we get to have choice. We get to say, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm not going to judge it. I'm just witnessing it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get to make a choice. Do I want to continue moving forward like this? Or do I want to choose a new thought, a new path, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's awareness. And then that actually takes me into the second shift, unless you have any questions on the first one.
No, it's amazing. Keep on going.
Okay. Okay. So
I'm so enjoying this. So just so you know.
Yeah, I love to talk. So just
Don't
jump in
worry.
whenever you need
Yeah,
to.
it's amazing. I'm enjoying this.
Good. Yeah, so shift number 2 that I love, like I said, is one of my passions, which is mindset. So now we have the choice. We can say, I want to choose differently, right? And with that choosing differently comes mindset, and we can choose a thought that really lifts us up. And mindset really is everything, because what it is we think about is what comes about, right? There's this saying that's my absolute favorite saying, and I say it over and over again. I write about it, I post about it all the time, but the saying is where focus goes, energy flows.
Yeah.
So where focus goes, energy flows. For what are we focusing on? So if we're feeling really down and frustrated and angry and stuff like that, there's a really good chance we're focusing on things that don't lift us up, right?
Yes.
And so if we can shift to our mindset to something that is more positive, then that also changes our body, our mind, everything of how we experience life.
Your energy. Just
Absolutely.
your frequency, your energy, everything changes.
Exactly.
That's
And
amazing.
so it's I love to do like a really short example of that. So for anybody who's watching, to get a better, deeper understanding, I always feel like when we experience it ourselves, then it's like, oh, now it's real, right?
Okay.
So to quickly imagine something that, even if you're willing to close your eyes, and it's just like, quickly imagine for a moment an event or a time, or maybe even right now, where you're feeling fearful, where you're feeling sad. So a time when you felt sad.
Yeah.
And you noticed your body. So that's that awareness piece again. And it's just noticing your body without judgment, just noticing. Maybe I'm having tension here, or having a bit of anxiety, or whatever it is. Just notice it, thank it, and then we're going to let that thought go. And then we're going to shift our thought now to a time when we were really happy, when you were celebrating something. Maybe it was a wedding, maybe a birth, or a graduation, or a completion of a project, or just being happy. You know, maybe seeing the colors that were around you at that day, that maybe there were people around you. What was it that you were experiencing? And then breathing that in and noticing how your body feels now, with just thinking about that happiness. Notice how much different it feels,
It
right?
does. Yeah.
So if you want, you can open your eyes again. And that's just a really short example of like, what did we spend? Maybe 10 seconds of thinking of the negative. Actually, the negative we might have thought a little less about, like a shorter amount of time, and then
Yeah.
the positive. And so you can see how our
Changes.
body
Yeah.
changes, and
Yeah.
and the only thing that was different, we were still sitting in our seats. The only thing that was different was our thoughts, right?
Correct.
And so that's where mindset becomes so exciting. We get to do this. We get to choose our next thought. We get to look at what's our next possibility. And sometimes that's hard. Like sometimes it's hard to see the silver lining. It's hard to see what's really could be better at this moment.
It needs practice. It needs practice.
Take practice, absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
so you're in this place of stopping yourself and just having an awareness. Congratulations, right? And
Yes.
so if you're in this next place of saying, I'm going to choose a better thought, and even if you don't know what it is, that better thought can just be, in this moment, I'm okay, right? In this moment, I'm okay. Even if it doesn't seem like it, I am okay, right?
Yeah.
Or if you can't even get to that thought, that's okay. In this moment, I'm going to breathe, because that's the best way to go, right? Yes, I know.
That's amazing.
And there's actually science behind taking, 3, 5 deep breaths, of
Mhm.
how it changes our mindset, how it changes our mind, how it changes our body, how we begin to relax.
Yeah.
And it begins to feel so good, and it's absolutely free, right? We
Exactly.
don't have
Yeah.
to pay a dime for it. It's just free. It's like it's our gift to us to live for life.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so in a nutshell, mindset is everything, and our body will follow our mind. And so it is something that is fascinating. I love working with my coaching clients, because in a short session, you can see their shift. They can feel their shift, and
Wow.
they'll message me within that week being like, okay, I did this, this, and this now. And now we're moving forward, because that block, the only thing that stops us in life for the most part is ourselves and our
Yeah.
mind.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the third thing you said?
Yeah. So the third thing is kind of goes along with what we're talking about, as far as like imagining and like changing things. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to back up one more second, and
Okay.
I would like to give a little tip for mindset. So we know
Okay.
now how it affects our body.
Yes.
And so an easy way to shift mindset
Mm-hmm.
is two things. One is, you can say, if you hear yourself saying a statement like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, or it's a limiting statement
Mm-hmm.
in your mind, or a thought that
Yeah.
you have. And if you can catch yourself, and like you said, it's practice. So if you catch
Yes.
yourself and you're like, oh, here I go again, telling myself I can't do this, then you can imagine in your mind. So you can imagine or visualize or just think about a red X going through that statement, that sentence. So we're putting a red X through it. And then you're going to put a new statement that's empowering. So if it's like, I don't think I can do this, it's like, but what if I could? Right?
Yeah.
So there's this, like, even if it's baby steps, to just say, but what if I could? Right? Or, I think I could try, right? And just kind of taking it from there.
Yeah.
And so so that's one way that's easy to reframe your mindset. And then the second way that actually is one of the ones that I absolutely love and use every day is gratitude. So when
Oh
we come
yeah.
from a place of gratitude, it automatically shifts our mindset, because now we're looking for what we're happy about, what we're
Right.
grateful for,
Right.
what's actually working in our life versus not working in our life, right? And sometimes it's just the fact that a bird is singing, and I'm grateful for that moment to hear it. We have so much. We have so much.
Yeah.
And I've lived in a third world country where we had very hard times and very poor times. And so even then we had so much. And now, for where I live in, North America, in Canada, we have a roof over our heads. We have the ability to talk across the world to each other at this
Yeah.
moment.
Yes.
So much, right?
Yeah.
So there's always something to be grateful for. And that vibration of gratitude automatically will shift our mindset to a more positive mindset. This isn't saying we're putting our head in the sand It's saying that we get to choose how we want to feel and how we want to look at life.
Mhm.
And then that makes the negative things in the world something that we can navigate better. They don't feel as big when we come from a different mindset. So we can still look at them and deal with them, but now we're looking at them with a different pair of glasses on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So
Mhm.
the third point.
The third one is
Yes.
the third one is it's more fun. It's more what I like to call it as like dream and then let go. So
Okay.
this is where we start to create more of our vision. Like, so like I said, what do we want to create after this is all happening, or even during this is all happening? Let's allow ourselves to dream. When's the last time we allowed ourselves to truly dream about what it is we want,
Yeah.
right? And so the reason that I brought this in for the third shift is because, for one, we don't dream, and for two, if you look at children, they're always dreaming and they're so happy, right? And
Right.
so it's like tapping back into that gift that we already know how to use and what to do. And the reason for this is when we think about our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is our thinking mind, which we've experienced already all the time. And then our
Yes.
subconscious mind is the part of us that it just does what we think, what we're thinking.
Hmm.
So when we imagine or think good things and we dream about them, it actually, we start to attract it into our existence. So
Hmm.
some of us might be thinking, oh, after this is all done, I have to go back to that job that I hate or that I really don't want to do, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But do we? You know, what if we can dream and be open to possibilities and have that vision? And with that, we attract more and more of that into our life of what we truly want, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then the key is, though, to let go. Because when we have a dream and we hold on to it so tightly, how can we receive it? We need
Oh.
hands, right? Because,
Okay.
so have you ever had where you really desire something and then it doesn't quite happen the way that you wanted it to happen, but something actually better comes along, or it happens in a different way, and looking back, you're like, that was actually better than I could have imagined, right?
Yeah. Maybe I can think a couple of things, but I can't remember now. But I can't think, but then not yet. Not really. I did have like a like interviewing my mentors or like yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And if you didn't allow yourself to dream or think that that could be a possibility, it maybe wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah.
And so allowing ourselves to dream, we start to step into a space that maybe things are possible. Maybe I can do this. And
Yeah.
then realize I can do this.
Yeah.
So, you know, this YouTube channel of yours was at one point just a seed of a dream.
Correct. That's correct.
And now you're doing it. And now how much has it expanded from your original vision potentially, right?
Yes, it does. And I am so grateful for interviewing one of my mentors, who was Jacob Sokol.
Yes, he's
And
amazing.
he's amazing and I love him. Oh, I never thought I could do it. I never like until it is done. I was like, oh my god, I just did it. No
Yay!
way.
So exhilarating, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, you can do it. We can do anything. And I mean,
Yeah.
had you asked him, had he said no, well, that's okay, because at least you had even asked him, right? But
Yeah, I
he
did.
didn't. He said
Yeah.
yes. And you have
Yes.
this beautiful interview. I've actually watched it. I really enjoyed everything he says, and you did amazing. So,
Thank you. Thank
uh,
you. It was my first interview on my
was it
channel.
your first interview?
My first interview on the channel, the first interview. Like, oh my god, that's my first one.
Wow, you just went for it. That's amazing. And yeah, I would not have known that that was your first interview. So
Yeah,
absolutely, congratulations.
thank
And
you.
you know, that's the power of dreaming and
Yeah.
and letting go. So that's where we let go, and we just know that this is where faith comes in, right? This is where we surrender to, this is what I would love to have, and we let it go. And I always say it's kind of like asking for something for Christmas. You know, it's like, if
Mm.
I don't tell my significant other, or when I was younger, my parents, I want this Barbie doll with this horse, you know, and that's
Aw, yay!
might get me a Barbie, but it might not be the one that I want, right? So it's like, if I if I can dream about it and specify what it is, it's so much more likely to happen for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the creator is, and the universe, however we want to look at it, is also always there to support us. All we need to know is, what can we dream about it? So there's the science side, and then there is the woo-woo side that I love as well. If our mind can achieve or dream it, we can achieve it.
That's amazing.
Mm.
That's
And we don't
amazing.
think about dreaming during this time, right? We're just thinking about surviving. But the more we dream
Yes.
and allow, it can be so
Yeah,
much more exciting. So,
exactly. So
yeah,
Tanya, where can they find you if you want to find you?
absolutely. So you can find me on my website at Tania J Maven. Make sure the J is in there.
Yes. I'll link it in
And
the description below and like I tag it in the screen if you want anyone to like
perfect. Yeah,
hop
thank
in
you so
a coaching call.
much. So I am on Facebook. I also have the same Facebook business profile, Tania J Maven,
Perfect. I'll also link
for more
that.
of like the juicier stuff that I like to do.
Yay.
I have a Facebook group that's called the Maven's Corner, and so I do more in there that I don't do like on my Facebook page per se.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like a different call or maybe a card reading or whatever it is in there. And so I'll do that in there too. And I do, gosh, I have an Instagram account that I'm working on beefing up now.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
So, that's, you can find me kind of all the platforms, but the more I'm most active at
It's
this
on
point,
Facebook.
Facebook and my
Yeah.
newsletters and stuff like that.
Yes.
On my website, I do have a freebie for anybody who wants to learn more about mindset. I have a 5-day mindset challenge, and it's super
Wow.
easy. It's a short little email that you get with a little video that's 3 to 5 minutes long, and it gives you direction in the morning, and then you can just practice that during the day. So it just kind of helps to get you on your path and start to practice and play with mindset for free. So
That's amazing.
uh,
It's amazing. Thank you so much, Tanya, for tuning in with us. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
very much for having me. I really appreciate it. And
No,
thank you
you're
for
welcome.
working
You're
as
so
well.
welcome. You're so welcome.
Have
Till
a great
next time.
day.
Yes. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.